Hello, welcome to the ORA podcast. I'm very excited about this one. We have a very special guest in the house, and I will let him introduce himself and we can get right into it.
Hello, my name's Augusto, and I'm excited to be here. 38 years old, grew up in Toronto, came to Canada when I was 13, originally from St. Lucia. Again, I had a decent childhood in Toronto, St. Lucia. Nothing to really complain about. Just, I guess you would say, hang around with the wrong friends, different company, and just made a few mistakes in life. By the time I was 18, I was just living a chaotic life, lack of a better word. And again, by the time I was 22, I ended up in prison. Spent a few years in there, which was, again, ups and downs, but came out around 35 years old. I had a decent life, can't really complain, but life happens. And I got myself into a little bit more trouble, went back to prison for a few months. Then I came home and decided it was time for a real change in my life, and that's how I ended up at ORA. When I arrived at ORA, I had no clue what to expect because, again, it was something new. But it's probably one of the best choices I made in my life because it introduced me to just a different way of thinking. And I was just grateful that I went through what I went through in life to make me end up in this position.
The supports you received, how did those help get you the success that you've had so far?
Well, the staff here, again, they were great. They made sure I had everything I needed to be successful. We had all our tools, we had transportation, we had everything we needed. So the staff here provided everything we needed so we could be successful, which was one of the best things about the program. You weren't allowed to fail. When I arrived at ORA, we were taught many skills and just certain things to use to better our everyday life. And again, I was a little skeptical with a lot of the tactics because it was new to me. Mm-hmm. But when we somewhat entered a real world situation, for example, we arrived at the Liuna training facility. A lot of the things when it comes to dealing with people and understanding that everybody might deal with situations a different way. A lot of the skills we learned here, we really had to apply it in a different environment. So again, just this program was just a positive influence on my life, and I'm just grateful the way everything worked out. You know, I ended up again at Liuna training facility with a couple great people. The staff over there was really good, you know, Corey, you know, he was good peoples, you know, so it was actually a very welcoming place. Ups and downs every day, but it was a good place. So ORA actually prepared us for that, you know, really prepared us for just what was ahead, you know. And now I'm currently working with Liuna, so I can't complain, you know. Life's coming together. So just enjoying life and taking it one day at a time.
So you've done your training and then you get that call for employment. What was that like?
Well, little backstory behind that. After I finished the training with Liuna, there was a little break in construction, so I had to get myself another, you know, little side gig, you know. Mm-hmm. Then I got the phone call, so I had to make a choice. Was I ready for construction or not? Mm-hmm. So then it was actually very exciting when I got the call. It was a blessing in disguise because I was kind of getting comfortable where I was at, you know. And I needed this to wake me up and get me back on track. So it was actually a very good feeling, to answer your question, when I got that call.
Why don't you share with us what's your day like? What's it like being on a construction site?
I get my day started around 4:45. out the house by 6, about half an hour to get to work. Got to be at the site maybe half an hour before just to be safe. And usually work until 4 o'clock, give or take. And yeah, get back home, relax, no worries, do it all over again. Yeah.
There's a lot of mysteries, a lot of misconception about what it's like being in the skilled trades. If you could go back day one, compared to your training, what was that like?
Compared to my training, the only thing that was a little different for the actual site is the people. Because while you're at training, you speak with the same people every day. So it's easier to deal with them. But on the construction site, 10 different contractors could walk past you on a daily basis and you've never seen any one of them before. There's a lot of people, a lot of moving parts. So I think it was just the people is the only thing that was a little different.
Tell us about being unionized. What was that like?
It's a great feeling. You know that you have a future, like me I know my kids would get taken care of no matter what happens to me. My family would get looked after and somehow. So I know I got job security. So being a union member is actually it's a big step to making your life a lot better.
So now we have an idea of what life is like for work, right? You get up, you go to work. Tell us what life is like for you now. What's the difference, right? When you're done work and you're home, what's that like?
More comfortable, because this has put me in a situation where I could go home and not worry about should I get a second job. If I'm getting a second job, it's because I want to.
Mm-hmm.
So life at home is more comfortable. This has put me in a more comfortable place. Now when I'm done work, I could go home, put my feet up, take my dog out.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a Labradoodle.
Okay, nice.
Coco.
Coco?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And, I could take her out, go for a walk. Later on, pick my family up, my mom, my little sister. Just hang out, just life is just a lot more at peace after going through this program,
So as we're speaking, it comes across as though you've gone through a genuine transformation, right?
Yeah.
Looking at your life, or looking at when you come out of prison and you're looking at your life, when you were looking at your life then, right? How much has that vision changed? Like, what have been some achievements that you can look back on that you might not have anticipated the day you walked out of prison?
From the day I walked out of prison, I was busy trying to live for everybody else. I hope it doesn't sound selfish, but I've let so many people down that I came home wanting to do for everybody, and kind of burnt myself out a little bit in that, exerted myself. Now, I put me first, I gotta be the sheepdog, put me first.
So we know it's incredibly difficult to get a job once you've been inside. During those dark days, what were your greatest fears?
My greatest fear was people not giving me a chance, So always thinking people are going to have this perspective on you. So I was kind of almost afraid to put myself in certain situations so people don't see me.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that was my greatest fear.
Going through this journey, what are you proud of the most? When you look back at that transition, what are you proud of the most?
I'm proud of the fact that no matter help I might have needed, I still did it myself. So I stood on my own 2 feet no matter what, and I tried to do it myself. And I feel confident in saying that.
In this program, we always say that we live in one of the most richest countries in the world, and once you've paid your dues, and everyone deserves a path to get a piece of the Canadian pie. Does that resonate with you now, even after everything that you've gone through? The fact that you're in a position now to go and get your piece of that Canadian pie.
Sometimes it's still surprising that I'm in the situation and I'm able to like have some real success, you know? So it's still crazy that I could still get a piece of that pie.
I love asking this question. What interesting things did you do with your first paycheck?
I put something aside for my daughter. That was the only thing I needed to do.
What's that like, being able to take care of your daughter now, knowing that, you know, you are able to provide a better future for her?
It feels good to like be able to not care if they take the money if they take the money every week. You know, like it feels good to like just be able to do, you know, like it's to know that your kid could be in want for nothing. You kind of set her up in a way. No matter what's going on in the world, it's like you're good. You kind of sleep good at night.
She's good. Yeah.
No matter what's going on.
So tell me about your mom now.
No, my mom's okay. She's all right.
She must be very proud of you.
I'm trying to make her. I can't speak for her, you know? I'm trying to, man.
If you could sum up your journey, or if you could sum up what you've experienced in life in a few words, what would that be like?
Perseverance, patience, and character building.
So let's go back. If you could speak to your younger self, or rather, what kind of advice would you give to anybody that's watching this that might be in the shoes that you were in, or could possibly make decisions that could lead them to be where you were? What advice? What would you say?
If I could speak to my young self, I would say go to school, stay in class. I'm not going to say don't follow your friends. I would say follow the right friends.
So with your training up at this center, you receive what they call tickets. Could you talk a little bit about the tickets that you've had and how those have been put to use on the job site?
Before you could work on a job site, you need to get tickets to do certain tasks, right? And while I was done training, I got quite a few tickets. It's just pretty much permission slips to allow you to do certain things on a job site. And funny enough, a lot of those tickets you receive, they come with a lot of safety features. Like you learn a lot about safety. Mm-hmm. So even though I might not be doing a certain task, I'm aware of all the hazards and all the possible things that could go wrong, you know, and everyone's just trying to make it home to their families. So
you end up in one of the biggest and most exciting sites in Toronto, Ontario Place. What's it like being part of the team that's going to transform Ontario Place into something for the future? What's that like? Who do you work with? What's it like being on site? Or what does the site look like right now?
Working at that job site is quite interesting. The guys were very careful with the way they handled the situation over there. You know, it was a very touchy subject. Mm-hmm. But they're doing the best they can, and I think the change was needed. Mm. And I think it's just a good look for the city. Right now it's a little busy, but it'll be a very good look for the city.
Share some of your achievements. What are things that you're proud of?
I'm proud of the fact that I'm able to just remain stable, you know, like just remain stable. Just be a part of something good, you know. And after leaving here, I just understood what it's like to appreciate what you got, you know, and really hold on to what and who's trying to hold on to you.
So where do we go from here? What's in the future? What would you like? What would you like to achieve? What would you like to do? Or what do you have planned?
In the future, I know it's going to sound cliche, but I want to own a home. I want to eventually have some kind of business in the construction field, something interesting like that. And I would tell future me, just continue pushing. As long as you're working towards something, you're doing a good job.
All those things, with your new career now in the skilled trades, all those things are very, very possible, and they will happen.
Thank you. I hope so.
What's it like being the new guy on a big construction site like that?
After the first day, it felt like I've been there for years. So shout out to the whole crew.
Mm-hmm.
It made me feel welcome. And I just appreciate them over there.
Everything goes by very fast, right? When you begin the program, it seems like quite a long time, but when you get into it, it goes really quickly. I mean, looking back now, especially your time with our partners, like 183, what would you like to say about the team there and your experience there, right? Your instructor, Corey, Lisa, Sarah, everyone at 183.
Well, I learned patience from the guys at 183. They taught me how to deal with people. My relationship with Corey, Corey was cool, man. Corey made sure.
And Corey was, sorry to cut you short, Corey was your trainer, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Corey was the instructor. We had different instructors, but he was our main instructor. He was cool, man. Like he just taught us everything we needed to know. Always made sure we were good, He dealt with us like brothers and sisters, not like these trainees, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So big ups to them, man.
183, our partners work really hard to, to make sure that when they do train you, it replicates a lot of a real construction site. Did that translate with you when you got on the job site? Did you feel that they had prepared you adequately?
Yeah, Launa actually pretty much helped us get ready for the outside. Like even though it was a controlled environment, they actually made sure we understand the difference between, everyday life in construction and what we should expect, and not go into it with a closed mind.
When we're going through the program, we talk a lot about not being a victim. We really work hard on that. And, so my question to you is, looking at your journey, right? If you've taken a bad turn, you've served your time in a corrections facility, and you've come out, and you're still able to be successful. And you have a great job. You have great benefits. There's people out there that might be looking at you that still feel that succeeding in this country is difficult. What would you say to them?
I would say to them, even though it's difficult, just keep on trying. Like, I spent over 10 years in prison, and life isn't a bed of roses, but the only way to get through hell is to keep on going. So stay strong and just keep on going forward.
What's the one thing that surprised you the most?
The one thing that really surprised me is sometimes when you think that life won't get any better, it does. So that's I hope that didn't sound too dark. Life won't get any better. But yeah, the one thing that surprised me is that when you think things kind of plateaued for you, if you keep on pushing, you could always get over that hump easier than you think. So it surprises me how easy it is to get over those humps in life if you just continue pushing.
Success is earned. It isn't given. When you came into this program, you stood out, and we were, our job was to work as hard as we could to get you to where you wanted to go. But one thing that you said has, rings true. You get out of life what you put in, and you put in so much. You've paid your dues to society. You put in so much, and you deserve every success that's ahead of you. I hope that you know that we are truly incredibly proud of you for your transition, and we hope that you will continue being an example for so many people out there. Like, really, congratulations. Nothing makes us happier than to see you be able to fend for yourself, take care of your family, and for you to be able to go out there and get yourself a piece of, as we say, the Canadian pie. So congratulations. We are ever so proud of you. I hope you know that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everything you guys have done for me, especially the ORA team. What up, Juju? Just thank you guys so much. And I'll just continue to strive to be better. That's all you could do. Strive to be better.
Great.
And anyone out there, this is the place to be. You need a change in life, this is the place to be. And I mean that.